Alright, so here we go. We're going to install our first package of bees. What I've got here is I've already filled this hive with some frames from last year, and so these frames are new, and I've got some old frames that actually look kind of rough, but within no time the bees will actually clean and polish these up very well. I also put in some frames of honey, so the bees will have a good amount of food to start themselves out with, and also a few frames of pollen. Well, not a few frames, but one frame. So hopefully that'll get them on their way to a healthy and strong start. Alright, so actually I'm going to try this. Might regret it for the first one without the gloves. So these cans, what they are is it's filled with sugar water, and sometimes the bees are shipped, they could be in these cages 2 to 3 days, and so these are going to give them the subsistence they need while they're being shipped. So we're just going to close those out. See that? We'll just dump them in. So it's interesting, they've actually done a method where they plug it with cloth so it kind of seeps out, which is actually pretty nice. So the queen is going to be locked in a little cage right here. Hopefully she slides right out. So these bees are all covering the queen cage, and that's actually a good sign. So it means they're getting used to her, and hopefully we'll be off to a strong start. So we'll just set her down, and this is going to look a little crazy, but what you want to do is give them a good bump all the bees down to the ground, and pour these bad boys out, and it's going to start looking crazy. Just kind of juggle them around, almost like you're trying to shake out a guitar pick out of a guitar. Anybody knows how to play a acoustic guitar knows what I'm talking about. This looks real mean, but actually it's not a big deal to me. Alright, we're going to go with that. So now that I've got some very excited bees, we'll see if they don't sting me a few times. And so this is a cage that actually doesn't have candy in it, which I hopefully came prepared. There it is. I brought little marshmallows. So what you do is take you a little nail or something so that you can scratch out this little cork that's holding the queen in. So I'm going to get these guys off. Sorry boys. Sting me. So queen's in there, she's doing alright. So what I'm going to do to release her but I don't want to let her out right away, is pop this little cork out, cover it with my finger. And I already have somebody trying to eat my marshmallow, so that's a good sign. And then I'm going to plug that hole with some marshmallow. Now you can use different candies, different sugars, you know, there's a lot of different methods, but we're going to go with the marshmallow. And so my queen is inside there, raring to get out and go. And I'm going to stick her in between one of these frames. Hopefully without being stung. So I'm just going to put her with the, there's a lot of different theories on this, but some people put candy up, some people put candy down. I'm going to go with candy down, or marshmallow down rather. I'm going to squish the cage a little bit into the side of some wax. Slide the frame over and catch it in between. So the whole purpose of that is so that in a couple of days the bees are going to eat that marshmallow and release the queen. And some might ask, why don't I just release it now? It's because they probably don't actually get along with the queen right now. All these bees are just shaken together by a large bee manufacturer, if you will, when they were processing honey. So they just, to sell these, they shake out 3 pounds of bees. These were 3-pound packages. They shake them all together, and then they add that queen in that queen cage like you saw. So those bees, they probably were in a different hive, of course, and they didn't have that queen with them, and so they're not used to her. And so they're only going to become used to her over a period of days of smelling her pheromone. And until then, if I were to release her right out of the gate, they would actually kill her. That would be no bueno. So we'll see if we can get the rest of these bees in, or a few more. But with the stragglers, all we'll do is leave the top off, or not off, but we're going to put a top on, leave that unclosed, and seal them back up. So I wish I brought my little brush with me, but these guys are actually being pretty kind and not stinging me. And that's a sign because they don't have anything to protect right now. This might be a different story once the hive is set up and they're getting very protective of it. They'd possibly go after me for treating them like I'm treating them now. So we're just going to scoop this top on, try not to squish too many of them. Alright, and for this particular hive, it's kind of convenient because I got a hole drilled in the top. I'm going to do that with a few more hives. But pop this back down so they can continue to feed. And I'm going to place this box just off to the side. They're going to hopefully smell where their queen went and find their way back into the hive. If they don't, they might find their way into another hive that I'm about ready to start up. But that's it. We're going to come back in another day or two. We'll make sure that the queen has been released. This is actually, these packages were made on Thursday. Today's a Saturday, so they've actually already been in together with that queen for a little bit of time now. So hopefully within a day, if they've not already chewed through that marshmallow, I'll actually be able to release them maybe 2 days from now, and we'll hopefully have a new hive.